Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are, remember you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another AB Daily News with your hockey coach, Coach FRENCHY. Today, episode number 230. What do you have a minute, coach, today? First of all, I want to talk about the divorce between Mike Hoffman and the Montreal Canadiens. The Jake Evans performance recently. Nick SUZUKI is back. And finally, do you think Jonathan DROUIN could have an extension with the Montreal Canadiens? But before we start talking about my first subject, don't forget the Montreal Canadiens play today against the New York Islanders and tomorrow against the New York Rangers. We don't know yet if Jake Allen and Mike Madison is going to be in the lineup for the Montreal Canadiens during the weekend. They are right now day to day. Let's dive in now, guys, for the first subject of the day. My first subject, guys, is about, is it the end of Mike Hoffman in Montreal? What are you talking about? Let's start in with this. He have one more year, guys, at $4.5 million. Then, here what he got sent is with the Montreal. First of all, his first year, he has 15 goals, 35 points, and 67 games. This year is 7 goals, 12 points, 29 game. That gave him a pace of 14 goals, 24 points, and 58 game. That's not what we're looking for Mike Hoffman. The last couple of games, he's a healthy scratch. And Mike Hoffman, healthy scratch, here what happening, guys. Unhappy, bad apple, and look his body language during the practice and during the game when he play. It's negative, he's upset, he got removed from the power play. That's what when Montreal signed him a couple of years ago by Marc Bergevin. Right now, for me, if he's still that way, I don't see him to stay with the Montreal Canadiens. The relationship between him and Martin Saint-Louis, it's not great. Whatever Martin Saint-Louis tried to helping everybody, Mike Hoffman right now is not happy in Montreal. So what I want to express today is his buyout during the summer. If you buy out him during the summer, his first year, 23-24, Montreal Canadiens are going to have a dead cap salary of $1.1 million from Mike Hoffman. Season 24-25, where the increasing of the salary cap is higher, he's going to have a $1.66 million on the dead salary cap. My question to you, do you think it would be better for the Montreal Canadiens to remove Mike Hoffman next year and to buy him out? My thinking about this, I would say yes. Why? It does not fit in the future for Montreal Canadiens. The way he is, the negativity around him, and it take one or two bad apples to have a really bad locker room around. And this, it's not good. So for me, it would be better to completely buy him out, and it would be great for the Montreal Canadiens in the future. So I just want to share with you the situation with Mike Hoffman. Is it a time to have a divorce during the summer 2023 between Mike Hoffman and the Montreal Canadiens? Please leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about my suggestion, and I will definitely respond to you in the comments section. Let's move on now, guys, for my next subject. My next subject, guys, is about Jake Evans' performance. Look, Jake, the last 11 game, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points, face-off percentage at 51.5 in the last 11 game. And this is great to see him that way. We know last year he had another bad year. He had 16 goals last year, 29 points with the Montreal Canadiens. He have a specific role with the Montreal Canadiens. He played the bottom 6 and he can play on the PK. He's good on the face-off. And obviously for him, since the beginning of the year, many winger, Armia, Pesada, Tadonov, Sakowski, Anderson, Hoffman, DROUIN, is not stable with him since the beginning of the season. But a couple of games ago, Martin Saint-Louis stabilized Jake Evans with Joel Armia and Dadonov. Look the performance in the last 5 games. The analytic number are excellent. 60% puck possession, 54.9% shots for attempts, 58% high danger scoring chance. Jake Evans have 2 breakaway last game, have 1 goal. You can see Jake Evans transform in the last couple of games with the Montreal Canadiens. Then he's more engaged, he's physical, he has more opportunities. So you can see in the last 3 weeks, Jake Evans' performance are better. The fact he played with only with Dadonov and Joel Armia, plus He made Joan Armia better too. Armia scored 3 goals in the last 5 games. So overall, that line with Jake Evans are one of the best for Montreal Canadiens in the last 8 games. It's not great when you said that, but that's the reality for the Montreal Canadiens. We expect Jake Evans continues that way, but this really what we see right now is the real Jake Evans we saw the last 2 years with the Montreal Canadiens. He played an important role in the bottom 6 for the Montreal. This complete, guys, my second subject. My next subject, guys, I'm going to complete with 2 players. First of all, Jonathan Drouin. I know, I'm going to get swamped by many comments about this. First of all, guys, Jonathan Drouin has 6 points in the last 7 games. He has 3 points in power play. Finally, in the 6 year we play with the Montreal Canadiens, his point average is 0.54 per game. That's put him number 3 best forward with the Montreal Canadiens in the last 6 years. Yes, I know. Many of you does not like Jonathan Drouin, but this is what he does with the Montreal. Next year, he become a UFA. What do you do with him? Do you get an extension? If you sign him, would you like to sign him for 1 year at $2 million? Would you like to sign him for 2 years at $1.5 million? Or do you say, you know what, let him go? You're not going to get big in return at the trade deadline. I think I would not be surprised to keep him and reevaluate his case. But this is my suggestion. I would accept him to give him an extra chance at $2 million max for 1 year and see what he's going to do with Montreal. It's not hurt the Montreal to play on the 4-line example or to have a specific role on the power play and play about 12, 13 minutes. I think Martin Saint-Louis can helping Jonathan Drouin to have an increasing a number of the points with the Montreal Canadiens next year. Again, it's a suggestion. I know many does not like his engagement, does not like the fact it's not physical. It does not go in front of the net. I know. But I think for the turnover for the Montreal Canadiens and transition, Jonathan Drouin is not going to hurt the Montreal Canadiens for the next year, maybe the next 2 years. Then let's finishing this with Nick Suzuki, guys. Finally, guys, I want to finish with Nick Suzuki. In my eyes, the last game against the Nashville Predator, it was his best game of the year. Overall, what are you talking about? He played an excellent game and 200 feet like Martin Saint-Louis talked about. He played great on the offensive zone. He did amazing on the neutral zone, and he did excellent in the defensive zone where he struggled in the last 6 weeks. He was well covered his man. He was back checking. He saved a couple of opportunities, cut the pass, and he was great on the transition overall. And for me, this is what is very important for Nick Suzuki. The last 3 games, he have 3 points. There's another good positivity about him. We know he struggled a lot in December. Finally, I want to remind you guys, this game is about mindset. 80% is right here. 20% is about your skill or talent. The power play for him is so important. Montreal struggled this year. It's still at the bottom in NHL at 14.8, I believe, at this moment. And without point power play, without great entrance, puck movement, and it's affect your play after that. It's mental, guys. It's just normal. And whatever you have a bad game and you get an extra point on power play or another extra point over there on power play, that's help. At the end of the night, said, you know what, maybe I didn't have my best game, but I'm getting another point there. This is really important to the power play for the Montreal increasing for the second half and to get maybe an extra 10, 12 point for the second half of this year for Nick Suzuki. Something Montreal need to improve, not only for Suzuki and Caulfield, but as a team together to finishing maybe 18% for the next 3 months with the Montreal Canadiens on the power play. So it's something we have to follow up for sure. But I want to do a video today just about front players for the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal have a very big, important weekend. Both games are in New York. First game against the New York Islanders. We're going to do the play-by-play. We invite you to join me at 7 o'clock p.m. And then Sunday, they play at the Madison Square Garden and the Big Apple against the New York Rangers at 5 o'clock p.m. This concludes, guys, all my subject I have for you for this episode. Here we go, guys. That's all for episode 230. We talk about Nick Suzuki. We talk about Jake Evans, Mike Hoffman, and Jonathan Drouin. Hopefully you enjoy it. But before we leave, we want to invite you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to our Canadian Live Show, and sharing this video on your social media. And leave me a comment. I respond for each one of you about your comments. But one more thing. What? Yes, you remember, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, great Saturday. And of course, an amazing, great weekend.